where we just do a very simple positioning. You know, a simple, maybe a simple position of dance, okay? Very unassuming, very natural, and not overly posed. I think to me, there's so much power in simplicity. Love just the beauty of a little child show. You know, we don't have to do a bunch of stuff to get an incredible image. When you got beauty, let's just let beauty speak for itself. And I'm thinking what we'll do is we'll do some just very simple poses. We might do a few things that have a dance position that y'all can help me with. Can you remember in your dance positions? When you have your, all right. We'll do some things with her in a very simple position. I'd like to also, I think, do some things where I'm going to slow down my shutter and use natural light and get camera movement. So I get her twirling and get motion in the background. And I may put some motion into the image, like there's dancers in the background that are in full motion. And then I get her in a very fixed position right there. I'm just all kind of ideas. Then I may put you up in the mountains or something, or in a tree back in the woods or something. Who knows what's going to happen? No telling where you're going to end up. You might even be on water or something. Can you walk on water? Yeah. So maybe we could do things like that. All right. What I'm going to do, I'm going to just use the light that's in the room here, and it's going to be handheld. It's going to be blurry, but that's what I want. I want blurry. I want motion. I want to feel the feeling that there's a dancer in the background hasn't been, she just did something beautiful just then, where you're just kind of looking down like that. Accidents happen that really, really are pretty. Okay, awesome. Now, I'm working with a little girl, and if I'm up high where I am, I'm going to make her smaller. So I want to work low. Okay, I'm going to be working down in this area, shooting more squarely into her because I don't want to foreshorten her. You know, if I'm up high, I'm going to make her upper body large, her feet right, and her feet real small. Good. Love it right there. Beautiful right there. Nice. All right, I want no smile on this one, okay? Okay, hard to do, isn't it, because you're a smiler. Okay, don't worry about, don't tighten your lips though. Just give me more of a serious look without big smiles, okay? Can you do that? I bet you can. Okay, put your hands, get ready. Get your hands right. Good, nice, that is perfect. Perfect! That was a good no smile. All right, I love that. I think that is so good. Let's do another one. Same pose, but I want you looking more, turn toward that light more. Okay, and now look at me. Turn your head to me. There you go, like that. Love it, right there. Good. I like that. Now, I like it. Don't move. I didn't tell you to move. Turn your shoulders to me now. There you go, just the shoulders. Now, put those hands like that. Perfect, just like that. Awesome. You got it. Oh, yeah, there you go. I like that. Okay, what she's doing here, she's turning her head out away from my light. Honey, I love everything you're doing, but I want you to turn your body, just turn your feet a little bit. Like almost you're looking over here at her, okay? And not me at all, okay? Look at me though now. There you go. Is that where her feet goes? Okay, good. All right. It's not that gorgeous. It's so beautiful. All right. You are doing so good. What I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to just drag my shutter. That means I'm going to be probably my average. Well, I'm going to get a reading. I'm getting my exposure down. Okay, I'm going to have to change my ISO for this. Okay, what I'm going to want you to do, I want you to just show me just dance for me. You're going to stay kind of where you are, okay? But I want you to remember, like you were showing a while ago, just a dance routine, like you're going to dance, just like you're doing your dance routine. Go ahead and start. I'm just going to do a lot of pictures. Don't have to worry about it. Just start dancing. okay? But I don't want to overly expose them because it'd be very easy to overexpose it and make them blown out. But what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take these lights here and I'm going to skim them across it. Instead of using them to hit on her, I'm going to let them just kind of go across like this, so they're going to light a little more of the background. Kind of like that. And just, this is giving me a nice balance, a blend of light going completely across there. I think that's going to work pretty well. Okay, now let me look here. Get down to her. I love that right there. Beautiful look. All right, do put your hands back where you had before. There you go, good. Can you do it though this way where your face is going more toward? There you go, good. Hold that about 10 minutes. All right, okay, I want you to look at that light. Good. Very, very nice. That's so good. All right, let's see, I like that. That is so pretty right there. Good. That's the one that Daddy will never be able to survive. Oh, I like that right there. Look at that. Girl, you're bad. All right. Good idea. Oh yeah. I was going to think of that. All right, that looks good, even straight up too. Everything we've done has been pretty dark backgrounds. I don't think, we haven't had the opportunity to do any. This is called high key. Okay, you got it? Exposing for white. There's two different ways you can expose for light colors or to get the proper exposure off of backgrounds. When I'm exposing light, doing light readings on my subject, I am getting, this is called reflective, this is incidental light. This is light coming directly from my light source to my meter, okay? You follow me? That's incidental. It's like taking a light reading outside with the sun. It's getting the light that's coming from your source to your meter, and that's going to give you one thing. Now when I'm exposing for backgrounds and stuff, think about it a minute. That light is coming from this light source to my meter. Now what's happening from the viewer's point of view when you're looking at that background? Where's that light coming from for that? That light is emerging from the background. And you're not going to get, I may be getting, I may have a perfectly exposed image here that's giving me an F11. I turn to that background and get that exposure. That F11 may be a F4. And it would stop down big time because I'm not getting necessarily, that's called reflective light. Reflective light doesn't normally mean, reflective means that the light is hitting the source and coming back, and in most cases that light is less intense than it was, particularly if it's on that dark background. I mean, that dark background sucks it up. I could have this in light meter pointing this light meter at, I'm pointing my lights. You'll get where you see. I'm taking these lights now, and I'm going to take these lights and to get a nice even illumination. If I took this light right here and pointed it at this light, at that background, it's going to be very intense here, and it's going to be really dropping off fast over here. You understand what I'm saying? So if I want to get a good, consistent exposure of a background, I don't normally use it because most of my backgrounds have a built-in halo around them, and I like to keep that. But in this case here, I like to get some detail. I want to get the white. I want you to look white or light. So in this case here, what I'm going to do, I'm going to feather it so this light is actually pointing over here to this side. Y'all follow me? Mm-hmm. It's going over here. It's going to be, the intensity is going to be, it's feathered right here, and it's pointing to right here. I'm going to take this light, and I'm going to do the opposite. It's feathered here, and it's pointed here. So what that feathering and crossing of light is doing is keeping the really hot spots from being on the edge closest to these light sources. You understand what I'm saying? Because this is coming across lighting here, this is coming across lighting over here. So what that's going to all mean, it's going to mean that I'm going to get a very, very nice, smooth transition of light completely across that background and not get a real hot spot on when I'm working in high key. Or really any background, but primarily high key. Because if I had that brown background that we had out a while ago, that light would drop off so fast, it would be absorbed into it. This white is almost like a mirror. It's going to reflect light. So it's going to pick up light very much different. Let me just kind of give you an example of what I'm talking about. This lens here, this light meter, is not really a reflective light meter. This source here is becoming a reflective meter. In fact, it's going to sense the light coming back at my camera, at my meter here. Let's see. I got an F32 right there. That's reflective light, okay? Now, I'm going to put it on. I got an F8. Now, what that means is, boy, that's a big variation. 32, that's very, very bright. 8, way, way under that. That's about 5 stops difference between those two settings. Which one is the true one? Most likely, the true one is going to be somewhere kind of in between, because this is not quite a reflective meter. This is kind of, I'm getting false reading. My light meter has a reflective capability where I can meter something bouncing right off of a surface. And with this particular light meter, it's a little less expensive. I probably am going to work with it like this. So I would say I'm going to be, with my lights set like they are, I'm going to be probably at about a 8 or 11 on my reading right here. And again, I can be as close as I want. It doesn't really matter. It's not going to vary. That's not varying. The further out I get, it didn't change at all. So, because what it's doing, it's picking that bright light right here in the middle and coming back at me. Watch. Now I was getting an 8.5 meter reading. Watch what I'm getting now. Okay, I'm getting 11 on this light. I'm getting 11. I'm getting exactly the same numbers, both of them. And that's because I got them crossed, and they're skimming across consistently across that light source, that background. Now, had that been a dark background, I bet I would have been 2 stops, at least 2 stops lower on the exposure, because it would have sucked up all that light. But that's when I'm lighting my background. Now, I would want to. What would I set my camera at? What do you think? If I want to get true white back here, what do you think this light would be giving me? What would I get on this light? If I want to get true white back there on that background, in fact, I'll take a picture of it. What do you think this background should, I got an 8 on that background, okay? That's what I got right now. I'm going to put an 8 on my subject. I'm going to do that. I'm going to try an 8 on my subject, 8 on that background, and we'll test it. Okay, we're going to kind of see what it looks like, both cases. So I think I'm going to go ahead. We're going to look at what that light is doing. My light back there is at 8, okay? And she's at 11 and a half, so she's a little above it. So let's see, let me make sure I've got everything right. Okay, that's good. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to bring this light down to the same setting that background is. I'm going to stop down to 8. And remember that now I've got my camera set at what that background is exposed at. I want you to notice the difference now. See, really almost. But if I want to make that background white, I just expose that background at what my light meter is telling me. That's exposed at F8 for the background, and that's exposed at F11 and a half.
Show me.
See? It's not blown out. By reading that background light, I'm getting my exposure. It's giving me white on that background. The thing you have to be careful about when you're photographing white backgrounds is that if you get it too overexposed, what do you think is going to happen? If that light is hitting that background too intense, what do you think is going to happen to my image? Let me show you. Stand there, Carson. Watch this. Sun, because it's going to give me flare, and that's the danger you got to deal with when you're working with white backgrounds. It is going to flare into your camera, and it's going to flare around your person where you hardly see them.
How did that happen?
I just stopped it down. I went to 5.6. I metered that background, and it was giving me an F8. I just stopped it down to another stop. And that extra light hitting that white flared it just like if I were shooting into the bright light of sun. So you have to watch, anytime you're working with white backgrounds, you want to make sure that that background is not any more, or that it's not any more than what your exposure for your camera is set at. If it's less than that, then you're going to overexpose it. It's going to really, it'll blow it out. You won't see any detail. When I look at this image, I can't see any detail whatsoever in that. Now, when I had it at F8, I could see the detail back there. I didn't overexpose it. I could see it. It was light. It was real light, but it still did show me some detail. You understand? So that's the only thing I want to share with you about white backgrounds. They're wonderful. That's high key. Her little outfit was perfect for that background. It's just such beautiful soft pastel to it. And it really was a beautiful, dreamy feeling to that, with that pretty little pastel and soft outfit she was wearing. Any questions about what we did today? This is just shooting high key it's not hard, but you just have to understand that it's easy to overexpose a white background, and you may shoot it sometime and then it's all gray. You can get, it's amazing. I could take this white background and I could make it totally black by setting my settings on my camera, where I can just get rid of all the light on that background, even though it's white. It's just by exposure I can get that. So I can change the exposure any way I want. Even I could take that dark brown background and make it look snow white. By putting a high volume of light on that background, and get a high key background with a dark background. So you have total control, particularly of dark backgrounds. I could take that background here, go up to about a 16, get a beautiful soft gray. Or even much grayer than what I had, and it'd still be very pleasant. So there's all kinds of things I can do to my backgrounds to alter their look and their color, just by adding light or taking light off of it.